Today I represent the Russian Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed community, all the fans that have been rooting for you while you were filming the movie.
Great.
And there has been quite a lot of excitement when it was announced that you're going to join the project. And have you had a chance before to, interact and communicate with the people who are avid fans of the game?
Not really. I mean, you mean on social media?
Yeah.
I don't really do social media. We did set up something through my production company where we would sort of like let little bits of images out every now and again. But no, to be honest.
Okay, and any kind of meetings with the Ubisoft managers?
Oh, yes. Yeah, for sure. All the way through the process, when I first met the guys from Ubisoft, there was no script. So we had many workshops with the writers that we hired. We had to get writers on board. Then it was about finding director, casting. Yeah, we had several meetings. And, I have to say Ubisoft were fantastic. They gave us lots of freedom. They were very supportive. They knew that we were passionate about it and that we really put our hearts and soul into it. So it was a really great marriage, I have to say. Really enjoyed working with them.
Вы пришли спасти мою душу. Сегодня ваш день рождения. Да. Вечеринка как раз начинается.
I bet everyone has already asked you this question about you becoming the producer. I'm going to tweak it a little bit because personally I'm really interested in what exactly convinced you to lead such an ambitious and challenging project, because it is really challenging since video game adaptations in movies are, well, pretty much a tricky thing.
Yeah, it's always been a goal of mine to set up a production company and to be part of bringing stories to the public with, not just as an actor. That was always something that I was interested in and wanted to be part of. So when I got together with Ubisoft, I said, yes, I'd love to come on board, but with my production company, we'd like to be sort of joint partners in this. And then we went to New Regency and they came on board. But it was always something that I wanted to do. And in terms of like video games not working to film, I wasn't really aware of it until people started telling me about it, and it doesn't really bother me. I think either it's good or it's not. Where it came from doesn't really matter.
Okay.
And also, sorry to interrupt, but
ahead.
also, we wanted to make a movie, and that's why we came up with new characters. We came up with a new regression timeline to sort of set ourselves separate, from the video game. Because it's one thing playing a video game, but it's another thing trying to sort of express all of that sort of concept and world and universe on the screen for an audience member. The world was so rich. There's so much that you guys have created at Ubisoft that so lends itself perfectly, I think, to the screen. And it's such a sophisticated world. And this idea that there's not like a bad guy and a good guy, this moral ambiguity is very sophisticated and really attracted me from the beginning. The fact that you guys came up with the genetic memory or DNA memory, also amazing, because for me it makes perfect sense and has a great plausibility in science that could be the case, that from our ancestors we've been passed down this sort of information, this experience, this knowledge that they have. Some people might call that a sixth sense or an instinct. I thought that hooked me immediately when the guys told me about that.
Вся родословная ассасинов сошлась в одном человеке. Его имя Калума Линча.
Что вам нужно от меня?
Ваше прошлое.
So you would totally like to try and go in the past and see your ancestors and how they lived?
Yes, I'm not so crazy about the bleeding effect, I have to say. It's like a bad acid flashback every now and again. But yeah, it would always be interesting to see different moments in history, and history was always one of my favorite subjects at school. So yeah, I would love the opportunity.
Okay,
when are you guys building the machine? How is it going?
I hope
What's development like?
It comes up soon, because I'm gonna be #1 in the queue.
Okay, I'll be 2.
Все, что я там увидел, было реальным.
Так и есть.
Okay, so for the last question, it is, how do you think how the ideas in the movie and in the game are relevant to the modern society?
Well, I think it's one of those things, that you guys created a fascinating world. It's fiction, for sure. But when you make fiction that deals with these sophisticated subject matters, like I said, this moral ambiguity, and you hold it up and Anytime I think a film really works is if there's some element of a mirror happening there. If we can look at things and go, that's familiar, I recognize that, that's great. Why do we levitate towards violence for one reason? You know, it's, you know, these are relevant topic matters for sure in the world that we live in.
Yeah, thank you very much. That was really interesting talk.
Thank you.